My fingers hurt. That was a drag. Hey everybody, I'm Jason. Welcome back to my garage. I'm really excited to have you here because I'm going to talk about some cool appearance mods on my Corvette. My last videos have been mostly about getting the heads and cam done because if you didn't know, the LS7 has kind of a bad reputation for dropping valves. So I got those taken care of. Out enjoying the car, having a good time with it, makes great power. Now I want to start changing the appearance and personalizing it. And one of the things that this car has on it that I'm not the biggest fan of is chrome. I'm just not a big fan of chrome. Never really have been. All my previous cars were kind of blacked out or murdered out or deathed out or whatever they say. But so here's one thing that it's got on it are these chrome Z06 emblems, right? And I'm going to be replacing these with some really inexpensive Z06 emblems that I found on Amazon. In fact, I'm going to start off with doing a comparison, and then I'm going to go through the process of removing these. Now, one thing that I do know is that the adhesive is really a nightmare on these. So I tried one method, and then it pretty much got worse from there. But anyway, here we go. So here is a factory Z06 emblem directly off my car. Okay. And this is the Amazon replica of it. Now, they're almost exactly the same, and I mean almost exactly. They're just super close. I think the only difference you're going to see is in the Z. It's much, like the indentation is much crisper on the factory one than on the replica. I don't think it's a huge deal, but otherwise the colors there, everything looks pretty close. I mean, if you really want to get picky, the zeros are a little bit different. I mean, overall, I think the quality of the factory one is just a little bit better. There's a little flaw in there. Either that or it's some of this gook from the back of this, and I'm going to show you how much of a nightmare that is to get off. So, hey, just for kicks, let's see if there's a weight difference. That is 0.3 ounce. This, with the backing paper on it, is 0.3 ounces, so they weigh exactly the same. So, I guess we better get at it. I've dealt with this sort of thing before. This is a drag. Got to get to it, though. What I did on a previous video was use a heat gun, like this cheapo from Harbor Freight, some masking tape, and some of these body pry tools that I also picked up at Harbor Freight for cheap. This time I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to actually try using the fishing line. A lot of people use fishing line, and so I've never tried it. I'm going to give it a try. But first things first is I do have to tape up the areas of where the current badge is so I know where to put the new badge in the exact place. Okay, now I know exactly where to put the new badge, and I've got a little bit of protection around the paint just to be safe. As I said in my previous video, tape is a lot cheaper than fixing a paint error or getting a new paint job. So I'm going to try with just the fishing line first, just to see how well that works, and then if that doesn't seem to work, I'll start heating up the glue. I'm getting there. Not bad. Oops. Just like that. There. Came right off, no damage. A little hard on my fingers though. I should have wore some gloves, but This is in reusable or sellable condition. Now, it's a matter of getting this stuff off. And this stuff is not easy. Try a little heat. Okay, this has turned out to be an absolute nightmare. And I'll probably be here all day, and my camera will run out of battery power, and I'll be swearing and all that, and then YouTube won't... Oh, wait, hold on. Maybe I got something, a way to do it here. Oh, look at that. I don't know. I feel like I'm not doing any good to the paint, even though it's going to be covered up by the new emblem. I don't want to, risk any damage. I really don't. So I guess I'm going to have to go the old standby, and that is WD-40. I'm just going to let that set for a while. Okay, I'm still struggling with it. Trying WD-40, trying to kind of soak in it. It's coming off, but boy, it's taking a lot of work. And you can see where after the WD-40 is soaked, that it'll start kind of taking it off. But this stuff is like atomic snot. So I got one more trick up my sleeve here that might make things a little easier. First, I'm going to soak it a little bit more. And what sucks is that I'm going to have to make sure I get all of this WD-40 off, otherwise the new emblem won't stick to this. And I don't want to lose it at high speed because I'll have to buy another one. These are Scraperite. They're plastic razor blades, and they come in different colors for different hardness. Orange is the softest, so it's the best for auto paint. Let's see how that works. Ugh. See, that's one of the things in the process you got to be very careful about is moving the tape. The tape, remember, is your guide to where exactly you're going to put the replacement emblem. At this point, I have to say I think a fingernail works better, so I'm just going to keep soaking it with WD-40 and so it looks like it gets to the point where it's really starting to loosen after you soak it, and I probably should have just kind of let it sit for about 20 or 30 minutes with the WD-40 kind of loosening it all up, because now, after working on it, it seems like it's coming off pretty easy. Every situation like this is a little different. Like in my previous video, came off really easy. This is probably among the worst I've dealt with. But I'm trying really hard not to use a lot of friction, or I don't want to damage this paint at all. Even if it's going to be covered up by the emblem, I still don't want to, in case I want to do something else with the fender here. You can see looks like there's a line I might not be able to get rid of. Okay, I've gotten almost all of it off. There's just a little tiny bit that I can't seem to get off. I don't know why. I'm going to try one last resort here, and that is carefully using some rubbing alcohol. I'm going to need to anyway to try to get all that WD-40 off. Okay, I've gone over this quite a few times with rubbing alcohol just to make sure any residue is left over is gone, because the last thing I want, again, is to have to go through this dry stuff again. Okay. You probably know what's going to happen next. It's a simple peel and stick operation, but making sure it's lined up is the ticket. And what I do like about this, I'm very surprised, is that the adhesive is black. It's not gray, so it blends right in with the rest of the emblem. That snotty stuff gets everywhere. But there it is. Almost perfect exact replacement, and I say almost just because of that little difference right there, but you know, from even a foot away, you're really not going to notice it. I think it looks great. You can't beat it for the cost. I'm going to, of course, put a link to everything that I've used here in the description below. See, that's a lot better. I really like that a lot. But I got to do something about the rest of the car, like, I don't know, the chrome wheels and whatever else I can do. So, future videos will bring that. My fingers hurt. That was a drag. There's probably a better way to do it. In fact, if there is a better way, put a comment below so I don't have to go through that again the hard way. But otherwise, if you haven't already, as I always say, hit the subscribe button so you can be notified of the next mods that I'm going to do, which is going to be Oracle side marker lights with the LED strip in them. It's pretty cool stuff. So that's going to be next up. See you then.